And it's not just the young people who like to have fun, right? And so
Yeah.
you touched a little bit on the walking trails, right?
Yeah.
So I know that that's something that you've been looking into as well.
Yeah.
Is that something you might want to elaborate
Yeah,
on?
absolutely. To me, that's been a big miss over the years. So, you know, I've been a competitive mountain biker and runner for a long time, and we have phenomenal trails around Quesnel. I used to train for one mountain bike race down in Squamish Whistler area.
Wow.
And we would ride 100 kilometers on trails from Dragon Mountain to Milburn Mountain, and we would touch pavement for about 6 kilometers, right? So we have the trail system, but it's never been developed, never been mapped and GPSed and really marketed well.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at a community like Williams Lake that's put a lot of effort into particularly their mountain bike trails, yeah. And now they've become a mountain bike mecca. They held one of the biggest premier mountain bike shows, I think it was last summer or the summer before. They hold mountain bike races, mm-hmm. And so and they can promote that aspect to their community. So what we're doing, we're just in the process of starting it just now. We're going to do what's called a master trails strategy.
Okay.
And as I was saying before, it's not just for the non-mechanized or motorized users. What we would like to do is take Quesnel and the fringe area, mm-hmm. and map all of the different trails options we have available, and then start talking to the different groups about where we could do dedicated, specialized trail systems and where we can do common, cooperative trail systems that maybe interlink those. Mm-hmm. So the ATV snowmobile group just out the Barkerville Highway have an area they've been developing. The Pony Club has an area out the NASCO Highway. You know, the mountain bike folks have done some stuff up above Dragon Lake and up Dragon Mountain where we have a new park. Mm-hmm. So mapping those specialty areas, but then as I say, sitting and saying, okay, now can we link some of those so you can run from one to another on combined trails, and how do you develop those trails? Mm-hmm. I was down in Seattle last year, and they have a little lake in one of their subdivisions, and around the lake they have a fairly wide trail that goes around. The inside is a pea gravel type trail for runners that don't want to run on the pavement. Then they have the pavement trail. Then they have a horse trail on the outside edge of it. So they've actually taken the same trail system and developed it for multi-use, so that you don't have that cross use that causes the trails not to be really well suited to anybody. Yeah. So our desire is to get that master trail strategy nailed down. Mm-hmm. And then to go after the significant funding available through Rural Dividend or Northern Trust, et cetera, and really chew over the next 5 years, getting those trails up to whatever the standards are, the horse standards or the mountain bike standards or the ATV standards, yeah. Really marketing them so that we attract more visitors. And I think through attracting visitors who come here, especially people involved in e-commerce or people who are close to retirement, people can cash out from the Lower Mainland. They come up here and they realize that, you know, if they have to get in the car, they're getting in their car for 10 minutes to get to the trailhead, not, you know, a 45-minute to an hour and a half commute to get to the trailhead.
Just to get to work sometimes,
yeah, and
right? We take that for granted.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. So that trail system becomes a real tool for us to truly diversify our economy. Mm-hmm. And then we have to train at the end of it, and we've been talking to some of our business partners, at the end of it, you have to train your business community to engage in that trail system and become ambassadors for it. I was down in Williams Lake last year and talking to a friend that I race with. We do this Tour de Caribou bike race every year, and I was down bugging him about whether he's ready to go or not. And this young group came in. There was 2 guys and a girl came in, and he said, you know, excuse me, he's just a businessman down there, and they said, we hear you guys have great trails. And he says, yeah. And he says, what kind of bikes have you got? What's your level of skill? What kind of experience do you want to have? And then he was able to pull the trail map out, and based on getting a little bit of intelligence from them, say, okay, here's the 3 trails I would recommend. Yeah. It'll take you about 4 hours. Here's where you start, and here's where you can finish. Mm-hmm. And by the way, at the end of it, you can have a beer at the Laughing Loon and wet your whistle before you move on. That's the kind of ambassadors we need to grow in our own community once we have the system set up. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's another addition to our community that I think really helps with us diversifying the economy, yeah. But also attracting and retaining our residents and visitors.
Definitely.